Hi guys, I'm going to show you how I design and print the wall eyes from Call of Duty Zombies. In this tutorial I'm going to be using Photoshop, Blender, and Cura. Obviously you don't have to have Photoshop, you can use anything else as long as you can draw on it. To start off we're going to go with Photoshop. Make sure it has a white background. The size doesn't really matter, just as long as it's big enough to draw on. You want to get your picture that you want to use as an outline and put that above the white background. And then you're going to create a new layer, put that layer above the picture, and then you're going to select the brush tool, try to match the size of the outline, and when you draw this you're going to do it in black. Next you're going to create another layer. This is going to be for the actual base that it prints on. You're going to take another brush, make it a little bit bigger, and re-outline what you just did. Now you could just leave it like this if you wanted to, but I always put the text box underneath it. I just try to attach it to the bottom any way I can. Most guns it's fine, but smaller guns like pistols it can be a little difficult. Next you're going to create an actual text box, make it black. The font that they use in Black Ops 1 is called Refrigerator Deluxe. I'll have a link to it down in the description. You want to make the text as big as possible across the screen. Create another layer, use a brush. This is going to be for the circle, so if you're doing hold X, this is how I do it. You could do the same thing for, hold square, or if you want to do hold F, you could just type in the letter F. Now when it comes to doing hold X, I print the letter X separately, so I'm going to create a new layer and just type in the letter X, and then I try to stretch it out and make it kind of match the actual Xbox button. Next we're going to export everything. You're going to do it each layer by itself. So hide everything besides the outline, export as, and export it as a PNG, and make sure you name it something that makes it obvious which one it is. And you're just going to repeat this for every layer on its own. Now we're going to move over to Blender. I'm going to go as slow as I can. You can see the keystrokes at the bottom left, so it shouldn't be super difficult to follow along. We're going to start off with a general file. You're going to delete the cube, go up to the top, add, mesh and plane, press tab to put it into edit mode, right click and subdivide. You're going to do that like 5 or 6 times. You're going to go over to the right, click modifiers, add subdivision surface, set it to simple and put everything to 1. Go down to data, vertex groups and add group. Back to modifiers, add vertex weight edit. Add a vertex group. Checkmark the group add. Set the fall off type to sharp. Under influence is where we are going to be putting our pictures in, so next to mask texture, click new. These switches on the right, click that. Open, and open up the pictures that you just got from Photoshop. Go back to modifiers, add modifier, and add mask. Under mask, select vertex group and add the group. Go back up to vertex weight edit and change the default weight to something around 0.15, 14. We can go back later and kind of mess with it to make it look better. For mask, you can select smooth if you want, but that's up to you. Add another modifier, add solidify. I like to set mine to 0.002. I think that's best for printing. You're going to go back to add modifiers and add remesh. You're going to see me set it to 0.001, but later I go back and set it to 0.004. Add another modifier and add smooth. This one you can kind of set to whatever you want. Just don't turn the smooth up too high, otherwise it won't print very good. Go back up to subdivision. I set both of my values to 4. I would personally wait until you are completely done adding everything to turn the subdivision up. It'll kind of lag your computer up, especially once you add the outline and the text. Other than that, we are pretty much done. We just have to go back through and add the next few layers. So now we're going to copy and paste the plane and re-add the other pictures. Select the copy, go back to Vertex Weight Edit, underneath Influence, go to those little switches, click the file, open, and then open the next one. I'm going to do the actual outline. You can click it, press G, and then Z, and raise it, kind of put it on top of it. You want to really make sure it's actually touching the base, not hovering over it. Copy and paste again. This is going to be for the text. Now right here you can see where I kind of messed it up. This was from the remesh. This is where I set it to 0.004. Now you can just kind of go back through and make everything fit with each other. You can press G and S to move it around. Make sure everything is touching the base. Mine's not going to be perfect, this is just for the example. I'm going to be using an actual file that I've been printing with for a while. It looks much better than this. We are done for the most part. Copy and paste one of the planes. We need to save this file. You're going to export it as an STL. I was just doing this as an example, but I wasn't really paying attention and totally overrided my actual file that I use. I have it backed up somewhere, so it's fine, but kind of scared me. Copy and paste that next plane, and then we're gonna open up a new file. Get rid of the cube, paste that back there. Go back to Vertex Weight Edit. Under the Influence, click New. This is where we are going to add the X. You don't really have to do much to this one. You can kind of adjust it if you want, but after you're done, go back to File, Export, and export it as an STL. Now for the last part, you're going to open up your 3D printer slicer. I use Cura. I think most printers can use Cura. Open up the STL. Sometimes they show up really small. I'm not really sure how to fix that. It's not like it actually does anything wrong to it. You want to try to adjust it as big as you can. I usually turn it sideways just to kind of make it that much bigger. These are my printer settings. I use standard quality. Everything else is pretty much preset besides the speed, but again, that's kind of depending on your printer and what it can handle. I don't use any kind of supports or build plate adhesion. Now, the part that's most important with this is the extensions. You can go up to extensions at the top, post-processing scripts, add a script, and add the filament change. You're going to see it pop up at the bottom right. Slice it first. Then you're going to go to preview, and on the right, use the little slider. I try to wait until it actually prints out one layer of the outline. So for this, it's layer 20. Then you're going to open up the script and type in 20, close it, and reslice it. And that's pretty much it. Now you can just send it to your printer and let it print. You don't have to use the filament change, you could just print it all black and paint the white outline. Whenever I first started making these, that's how I did it, but eventually it just got annoying and I figured out that I could just do a filament change. It honestly makes it so much easier, and it's really just a lot faster. Whenever it's finished, I use a paint marker and I paint the circle blue. Then I print out the X's. I usually try to print out like 4 or 5 at a time. Then I just super glue those on and then it's done.